Nice weather today again. It's actually sunny. Amazing, huh? Alright, what did I read today? Some crazy stuff. I guess this was a follow-up story for that guy that crashed his drone into the police helicopter just because I guess he was curious what was going on. This one says, Hollywood man pleads guilty to federal charge that he recklessly operated drone that collided with and damaged LAPD helicopter. A Hollywood man pleaded guilty today to a federal criminal charge that he recklessly operated a drone that crashed into and damaged the fuselage of a Los Angeles Police Department helicopter. Andrew Rene Hernandez, 22, pleaded guilty to one misdemeanor count of unsafe operation of an unmanned aircraft. According to his plea agreement, on September 18, 2020, at approximately 12:18 a.m., Hernandez heard police vehicles driving near his residence and a police helicopter flying overhead. Curious about the commotion, Hernandez launched a drone that he owned toward the police activity and in the helicopter's direction. An LAPD helicopter operated by two police officers was flying towards a reported emergency at a pharmacy in Hollywood. As the helicopter approached the pharmacy, the pilot saw the drone and attempted to evade the unmanned aircraft. Despite the evasive efforts, the drone struck the helicopter, forcing the pilot to initiate an emergency landing, according to an affidavit filed with a criminal complaint in this case. And according to this, the way he got tracked down was through the SD card of the drone. Although the interesting thing is, what is his punishment? Apparently, possibly jail time for how long, who knows? It says United States District Judge George H. Wu scheduled an April 12th sentencing hearing, at which time Hernandez will face a statutory maximum sentence of 1 year in federal prison. So possibly a year in prison for this, and it says the conviction is believed to be the nation's first criminal conviction for the unsafe operation of an unmanned aircraft. Overall, would you say this guy got what he deserved, or would you say it's overboard? From what I gather, most people would say it's justified, just because of the danger of it and all that. I think the main thing I would disagree with when it comes to stories like these usually is people would say, it's because of people like this, that's why there's laws, etc, etc. That I would say, no, it's dangerous and all that, but I don't think these are the reasons why there's, quote, laws and all that. In terms of things like over-the-top regulations for someone just flying it so low, because it seems like they're gonna do it anyways, but this is more about nitpicking and finding reasons, I would say, at most, to say, hey, our thing makes sense. And the other story I read got me to think about basically that whole topic of classifying all drones as some kind of huge manned aircraft, making it so restrictive, because even from my personal experience and from the stories I read, more good could come of it if people actually are able to use it in a reasonable way, especially small ones. So this one here actually dealt with a hiker apparently around here who went missing, and here it says, NSR is asking anyone who was at Cypress yesterday hiking the Howe Sound Crest Trail to St. Mark's if they saw 21-year-old Nikki, believed to be wearing a black ski jacket and with the following equipment. And basically they show you she looked like she became pretty prepared with all the snowshoes and all that stuff. So it's not someone wearing high heels, for example, which I've actually seen going on extreme hikes here. That's nuts. From all the news report and all that, I believe I have the right person here. Nikki Donelly, apparently she posts things like pictures and videos of various places she travels to. And I guess Vancouver was one of her stops here. But it seems like that rescue team really tried hard to find her. You can even see them posting all these pictures. They have things like helicopters, and it didn't seem like they had any luck. But I did read an update and it didn't sound too good with the way they worded it. But it says here, North Shore rescue crews have spotted missing hiker near Cypress. The 21-year-old woman failed to return from a hiking trip to St. Mark's Summit on Thursday. So they tried and they actually gave up at one point. It says the search began Thursday afternoon after the young woman went snowshoeing or hiking on the Howe Sound Crest Trail to St. Mark's Summit. She called her boyfriend in Toronto in distress, saying she was in a steep gully and lost, but the call dropped at around 3:20 p.m. The search was called off in the evening after high winds and poor visibility hampered the search effort. Using night vision technology, Talon helicopters aided in the search, which began shortly before 3:30 p.m. Thursday. NSR says teams were out all night but did not locate her. The team resumed the search at 7 a.m. And if you're wondering how they couldn't locate her with all these expensive helicopters and thermal cameras and stuff like that, they're theorizing that because it was cold, maybe she went hiding deeper into the tree canopy, like it says here, for shelter. But who knows what happened ultimately. But it did make me think, because in seeing that picture of how prepared she was, can you imagine if she just took a small drone, like a regular consumer one, and you're lost in that case? You could easily just throw this thing up there and look at where you are. Wow, okay, here I am. This is where I need to go. So in cases like this that probably happens way more often, I would argue you can't keep classifying those stuff as huge manned aircraft and making them sound so complicated, because realistically they're not for a lot of them, and they could be used to save a life. So you really need the balance, in my opinion. With these two contrasting stories, you can have that idiot, so to speak, flying, oh, let me get the shot there of that helicopter and crash. But I don't think that should be a reason to make everything so over the top, where people, like in this situation, could use it to save their lives or even like search and rescue in a really efficient way. Because that probably happens a lot more, in my opinion. Still debating what's the best color palette to use if you're trying to find actually a missing person like with this. Yeah, that's how quick you can actually find people through, like, I guess, heavy bushes and all that. Makes you wonder what's the best color palette for that usually. Alright, see you guys later.